So Ghost of Tsushima has fundamentally changed how I view game design, especially as it relates to UI and the player experience within these big, beautiful, open world games. Much like Apex Legends introduced the ping system and really made that a system that I crave in multiplayer games, this has fundamentally shifted how I view the minimap and the compass system that we've seen prevalent in games like ESO and Final Fantasy XIV. I've advocated for minimaps, however, I'm going to take that back right now, having spent a lot of time with Ghosts playing this on stream and really getting a good take, a good view of this game world. And I'm going to kind of dive into that here in this video. Let me start this off by saying and clarifying, this is not a review. This is my first impressions of the game, a game that I continue to play and will continue to play for a little while now, but I cannot sit here and say whether it's going to be worth it for you to play it or not. What is this game? Near I can compare, I would say this is something akin to Legend of Zelda for me. It's got a big open world, it's got a beautiful open world, one that is accentuated by the fact that the UI basically takes a step back in favor of wind technology or wind navigation. What I mean by this is that whenever I'm having an objective, if you pay attention to the game, the wind is kind of direct you where you need to go. I love the subtleness of it. I love the fact that the game and the UI can disappear and I can just live and explore this world. There's an aspect to combat and the brutality of this game that as an adult, I really enjoy. I was actually just blown away many times. Combat feels so brutal and so intense. It's really not what this video is going to be about, because I think I've seen a couple other reviews out there. It's kind of what convinced me to actually make time for this game, and they've all said it probably with longer-winded words and way better than I ever could, so I'm not going to try and do that kind of take. For the most part in this game, and one of the things that I just cannot express to you enough, how this game shifted that minimap, that compass navigation, how I always kind of felt like I was almost playing. You could even strip away the beauty of modern games, because ultimately I continued to keep my eyes focused in on a minimap. I continued to keep my eyes focused on the compass. Am I heading in the right direction? And what Ghosts does here is it completely breaks that mold. And I find myself truly freed from this idea of efficiency in gaming, and it's taken a step back and I'm actually just in the game. And so that is something that has really changed with this. I'm honest with you guys, as honest I can always be, and I struggle finding time for single player games. I just do. I find games to be a very social experience. That's why I kind of tested streaming this one the other day and hanging out with Chris while playing it so we could kind of talk and react to it. There's plenty of reaction when it comes to just like, oh my gosh, that was just brutal, when it comes to the killing, when it comes to the direction of it. And then there's so many times where I'm just like, wow, I want to go see what's over this hill. I know the wind's kind of telling me to go over the left, but the world in and of itself, it feels so connected and so minimalistic that there's a peace there. And that is only then, complemented by the acts of violence that occur. This almost feels more like a movie, very cinematic in its design, but yet it doesn't sacrifice gameplay for its movie-esque quality. I feel Sucker Punch really knocked it out of the park. When they showed this game off originally, it looked like just another samurai kind of style game. What they've done here is they delivered me this world to play into an experience in a way that actually makes me judge other games going forward. I feel sorry for the next game, that feels like they were trying to go for this. We see this happen in the industry quite often. It's like, hey, this year's pirate themed, or hey, this year's going to be zombie themed. Like, that's a natural cadence of the game industry. So if there's going to be a bunch of samurai games, you can easily start to see and compare and contrast what this game does and what this game does not. I haven't put enough time into it to sit here and give a real critical review, nor, honestly, would I. I would rather just encourage people to go and consider checking this out for themselves. The reason being is that the only review that really matters is your personal review. Maybe I'll put a guide out on this. I find that when I can break down systems, once I fully understand them, that ultimately is ending up being better. I can say that I want, like, whatever it's called, wind technology, I want that. When you look at a game like Final Fantasy XI, it does the same thing. It kind of tries to strip away as much as the UI as possible, and it makes you feel like you're a part of the world. We've seen it more often than not just because of just game development, because of features. I'm not actually trying to insult any games that came before this, but rather say like, yeah, I have minimap fatigue, I have minimap disease, I have a problem with the minimap because I only look to that. I forget about the game world that I'm experiencing, the art accentuating the gameplay. Ghosts completely resets that for me, and for that, I couldn't be, grateful enough. And that's just where I want to leave it. That's what I wanted to share with y'all today. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Truly an incredible game, truly something to be witnessed and experienced, whether you're just kind of catching a Let's Play, somebody's live stream of it, or if you're going hands-on with it yourself. Let me know what you think if you're actually playing the game. I'd love to hear from you. I'm still exploring and whatnot. So anyway, I just want to share those thoughts with you guys today. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. But for Ginger Prime, my name's Brian. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.